Hey, what's up, party people? Welcome to Honest Trailer Commentaries for Ted Lasso. Yeehaw! We're gonna watch this Honest Trailer together. We're gonna give you some behind-the-scenes insight into how we really felt about this piece of lovely show, and we're gonna do some deleted scenes, questions and comments from viewers like yourselves, and then we'll tease you with next week's Honest Trailer. That's how it works. Hi, I'm wishing you both such a sunny, optimistic, Ted Lasso-filled morning, you two. How you doing? You ready to get this day? Ready to get this video done?
Ah, good dankily do. I'm so excited for this video.
Where are my baked goods? I assumed that on Ted Lasso Day you'd be sending us all bespoke treats that speak to who we are as a person and the connection that we forged, even though it's only been a few weeks.
I assumed mine would be Seattle related, just all covered in cream cheese.
Something says you've been paying attention to literally everything I've said and hanging on my every word because you care about it.
I do freebasing with the boss, where I duck under my desk and freebase a little bit of rock cocaine before I start
like
doing
a free base.
Yeah. But what a lovely little trifle of a show this was. Everybody said it was good and to watch it. I don't think it was as life-changing as everyone said it was, but it was life-affirming, and it was the right kind of like 24-minute little treat that you can watch to perk your spirits up. And how do you guys feel about it?
Yeah, it's a sousson. Sousson? Is that how you say that? I don't know words. But it's definitely sousson. It's like a
you have to do this though.
Sousson. It's a little bit of sweetness. Like we said in the trailer, it was right place, right time. I definitely needed something, and I think a lot of people did, that was just like nice people doing nice things. And I'm also like, I'm a Ned Flanders apologist. So so in that
stupid sexy Flanders.
Super sexy Flanders. Like everyone who knows me knows, like I'm very much like, I like nice things and I like nice people. I don't know how I got this job because I just enjoy niceness. So this was like right up my alley. And yeah, it veers into cornball territory, but I'm like a huge cornball, y'all. So I really got into it.
Yeah.
Listen, I think it's well done. It's good. I'm not going to argue that it's not well executed on everything it's trying to do. Terrific, very charming performances. There's some funny moments. It's really well like shot, like it looks cool and like believably like a Premier League sort of team or whatever. So on all that stuff, I can't like knock it. It's not a terrible show, but I don't know. It didn't really speak to me, I think, the way that it speaks to a lot of other people. It did seem like it's kind of easy. Like, I'm not saying you can't make a show that is like upbeat and nice about how we should all be more upbeat and nicer. It's just like, I don't know if I really buy Ted Lasso in this journey. It feels like this is the sort of thing that only exists on television. And if you were like Ted Lasso and you treated people this way, your results would vary wildly. And I feel like the show knows that, and it's almost trying to inoculate itself against that. Like, well, you just gotta be nicer. Like you're one of the negative, like just by saying this, I'm one of the negative voices that Ted Lasso needs to like take down. And it's like, I don't like that. Like, I don't like, it's like preparing for your negativity and ready to like counter with like, nope.
There are shows, yeah. No, just saying, like there are shows that do this a little bit with more nuance. Like a Parks and Rec is also a bunch of people who just really like each other and want to do a good job, but it's still a little bit more cutting than this. Good Place, I think, is probably the best at this kind of comedy, where it's like it doesn't punch down, but it's also like very much people trying to be nice people and failing. Whereas this is like mostly, oh, I was a grumpy grump, and then this dude with a mustache came along, and that mustache carried me on to freedom.
And literally, sometimes all he has to do to like win the person over is like a 2-minute little like anecdote or like giving them snacks from their home country. It's like, come on, if you want to do this, if you're going to make a whole show about how it's on all of us to be like super kind to everybody, like win me over with it, really convince me.
Well, look, it's less in the tradition of like a nice sitcom than it is in like a musical or something. He's like Mary Poppins, like he's just this magic outsider, or maybe like a movie like Being There or something, where he's just the magical guy from out of town that changes everybody's life. Like it's not in the. Yeah. I like it better if I don't look at it as a comedy because it's not that funny. But it is a very sweet uplifting show about a guy who comes into town and changes everybody's life. Granted, he does that incredibly fast and against people's own, motivations. They just kind of turn on a dime because he's just so gosh darn sweet.
Yeah, I think that's what I wanted more of. Is like I wanted it to be more of a journey. Like the nominal villain of the show is Hannah Waddington, who brings him in to this job under false pretenses because she's got this plan of revenge. But they don't even allow her to be a villain for half of one episode. She's softened immediately. We're immediately meant to feel like sorry for her and like sympathize with her plight. And it's like, come on, like a little bit of attention. Like that's what I think Mike Schur and stuff like Parks and Rec or Rutherford Falls or whatever does a little bit better than this. Is like it's a little bit of a harder edge and they have to be worn down and won over time. Like they didn't feel like a family immediately in Parks and Rec. It's like by season 3. And this by episode 3, it's like all hugging and crying. They're like done, you've been trying. There's no pretense. It's dropped immediately that these are hard, harsh people.
I still insist.
You old Grinch, you old so-and-so, you have to love this show or else you're a terrible person, right?
No, it's like, I'm the Jamie Tart. Like, I get it. Like, that's what they're doing. It's a strategy. It's like, if anybody's negative, it's like, they just need a good lassoing. Nobody made any cookies this week. And it's like, life's not like that, guys. Come on, grow up.
If someone brought me a Seattle
TV
hot
to be
dog.
like life sucks. Anyways, let's watch the honest trailer for Ted Lasso. And we have plenty more to say about it, I'm sure.
Oh, believe me, I can go.
Oh, I do love that opening.
Yeah.
So good.
I feel like we're going to use that
morning show
just for everything.
You didn't see, and you haven't bothered to start your mythic quest. I hear it's good though. But since your iPhone crapped out on you, and every new one comes with a free year of Apple TV Plus, you might as well check out Ted Lasso. Prepare for a show that feels like it was based on a dad joke about the 2 types of football, but was actually based on a series of NBC sports commercials.
How many countries are in this country? 4.
But unlike the Geico Caveman show that, yes, really happened.
By the way, pause. The commercials are probably better than this show. It is just like an 8-minute short, and it's just packed with all the best jokes from the series. And if you just want that, and you don't have Apple stuff, or you want to just like, get through it real quick, just watch these 2 I'd say commercials, but they're like 8 minutes long, and they're fantastic. You just
I would argue that the Laszlo Holmes NBC ones with Chance the Rapper, the ones on SNL, I would argue that those are actually better.
Okay.
With Chance, I do think that they're quicker, they're SNL, so you get through it really fast. Chance the Rapper is also like kind of a fish out of water. I love Ted Lasso. I love the show. I do think the Laszlo Holmes ones are better, especially the hockey one is mwah.
Can I also just say, as far as sports advertising, we'd love to see inspired TV shows. Terry Tate, Office Linebacker. Where is it? I would love to see the TV show that would be birthed from that. I think we got lots of options here for like our like starting out in the world of sports themed advertising. Movie Space Jam, we got a whole franchise.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys ever watched the
Shaq and the General, like some sort of sitcom combining these 2 iconic characters.
Save some time with the General.
I'm sure there is at least a script laying around for a flow from Progressive.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Secret agent thing or something like that. But give yourself a treat and watch all, I believe, 10 episodes of the Geico Caveman.
Wasn't there? There was one guy in there who like went on to be famous.
Nick Kroll.
Right? Nick Kroll was a Geico Caveman. That's it. Yeah, I knew that.
It's beautiful. All right. Anyways, keep going.
Happened.
Yabba dabba do. Seriously, don't do that.
Oh, there he is.
This show overcame impossible odds to actually be really good. It's at least as unlikely as Leicester City winning the Premier League in 16.
I just got asked to be the head coach at Rochester.
Whoa. Get ready
pause.
for 10
for the people who aren't fans of the footy.
Yeah, I didn't get this. I had to look this up.
Yeah, Leicester City. It'd be like, I don't know, the most hopeless franchise in pick your sport: baseball, basketball, football. It'd be like the Cleveland Browns times 10, like winning the Super Bowl. It'd just be the most unlikely possible thing. And then the year before, the 15-16 season, they had this Ted Lasso sketch where he's like, "I will now manage Leicester City." So just a weird speaking it into existence type of thing.
There you go. It's just listen. It's the power of positivity, guys. And I just, like, why don't I get on board?
Positivity.
The show wants to know why I don't get on board.
Yeah, that's American superpowers to believe even the worst things are super great and cool, and we're doing great, and we're fine. Everything's
just
fine.
like, what posh British model doesn't want to hang out with like a sad 30-something dude from Kansas?
Not one I know. Definitely not.
Makes perfect sense.
All right, keep going.
For 10 episodes crammed full of hugging, learning, growing, crying, and more hugging. And because streaming services are cheaper than therapy, we're working through all of our trauma by watching TV comedies, even the cartoons. So gear up for a season-long motivational speech delivered by the world's first manic pixie dream dad, who's here to change lives and shoot you in the face with a fully loaded pun gun for 30 minutes straight.
And our goal is to go out like Willie Nelson, on a high. You know what you do with tough cookies, don't you?
No.
Dip them in milk. Yeah, they met at his Friday night chess club. Apparently they liked each other's moves. Oh, that wasn't a joke.
Was it not?
Yeah, pause. I mean, that's what I say when the show is not very funny, is it's mostly puns. And granted, we do plenty of our own punning in the starring section of An Honest Trailer that we fart out for about, 20 minutes tops. I expect a little more thought going into a series like this, because the comedy comes from the situation where it's like this super positive guy dropped into this super cynical, cutthroat world. But then, like you were saying earlier, guys, it's like it becomes a super snuggly, everybody loves each other world very quickly. So all that's left is just wordplay. Yeah. All that's left to do is to just make funny sounds with your mouth. But they don't make them like they used to. That's why we all watch Office reruns, is because like there used to be comedies on TV, and now they're like, this is about imposter syndrome. Like, you have to take this seriously or whatever.
I blame the Emmys, because everybody was like, well, we can't get a drama, like there's no dramedy Emmy, so now we're going to call everything a comedy. And it's like, everything's not a comedy. Some of it's a super hardcore bummer with 2 jokes.
Yeah, I mean, I do think this actually does a decent job of just scratching that. Like, it's a workplace sitcom. Like, it's very much by definition a workplace sitcom. Like, you meet the boss and the people around the office and the coworkers, and it's like, there are season long, are they going to win the big game kind of things, but it's very episodic in nature, and I think it scratches that itch. And a lot of shows are, in peak TV where like everything's experimenting and playing with the format, and like WandaVision, and is it a sitcom or is it some other thing? And I think it's nice to have a show that's just very plainly like, no, it's like about a bunch of people who work together and like each other.
Yeah.
Sometimes they date, maybe.
Sometimes they date, maybe. Sold.
Workplace sitcom. I'll take 3 seasons.
Was it not?
Oh, I guess it kind of was.
Meet Ted. He's what happens when a golden retriever humps a motivational poster until Ned Flanders pops out.
Knock-a-doodle-doo.
And he's up against the only force powerful enough to counter that much optimism. British people. Thrill as every type of cynical Brit falls to his toxic positivity.
That's a long time to wait, Ted.
And relentless food-based assaults.
I'll start bringing these to you every morning. Called Biscuits with the Boss.
Hey, man, you guys gonna be chin-chin.
Well, we know you haven't been home in a while, so we thought we'd get some home.
Danielle, I know you'll appreciate this. It's the positive version of the Wu-Tang sketch where they sew the butthole shut and just keep feeding them and
feeding you. I keep saying, if someone did that with me with like Seattle dogs and almond roca, I would be super happy. Don't ask me what a Seattle dog is. You'll immediately hate me.
What's a Seattle dog?
What is a Seattle dog?
A Seattle dog is a street dog that has to be bought from someone on the street at 2 a.m. It's got caramelized onions and cream cheese on it and a little bit of deli mustard. There it is. That's the face I'm used to.
Cream cheese doesn't just immediately like melt and just become.
Well, not only melt, but it becomes that gooey paste.
Curdled, yeah.
It comes in packets. So they just squirt the packet on there, so it becomes like a perfect tube of cream cheese that you just eat inside your hot dog.
Cheese and a dog is like a good, like a cheese dog is a good combo. So I guess this is just like
an LA street dog is generally, it's not like great, but I mean, nothing wrong with like a hot dog wrapped in bacon.
The hell you say? Those late night bacon dogs are delicious.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Seattle dog. Woof. Come on.
See,
if Wu-Tang do better.
If Wu-Tang would just sew my butthole up and just keep feeding me and feeding me Seattle dogs, we might be best friends at the end. I don't know.
Okay, keep going.
I'm good.
Commentators, what would you like to be fed if your butthole was sewn shut?
Out of bounds, they say into touch.
Ted Lasso would be like, I'm going to put you on a really comfy cushion and keep feeding you.
We still have a lot.
The gaffer, me, going out to the pitch, grass here, to watch practice.
Training.
Fries called chips, chips are called crisps, and bangers aren't great songs.
We still have
Cookies. Or, as y'all call them here, biscuits, right?
What's the
I feel so bad. Pause.
Sounds
It's
like
like
a brand of
anytime an English person or person from the UK interacts with an American, this is like the first 19 topics of conversation. Is like the words are slightly different, and like we actually work with people who are based in the UK, and like I can see their eyes glaze over when we're like, "You call the trunk the boot."
Well, they're never, for whatever reason, they don't ever think it's funny the other way. Like they're never like, what you call them? Oh, that's ridiculous. Like they don't care what we call things. They're not interested in what our version of a lift is.
Our media is everywhere. We've dominated the world, so it's everyone's like, yeah, it's an elevator. We know, we get it.
It's like how everyone in New York
delighted.
It's like how everyone in New York has like complex, nuanced thoughts about all the things that are wrong with LA, and people in LA are like, oh yeah, it's fun. I like it there.
Great.
Go see a play.
Yeah, I think we're just really excited because it's the closest we get to learning a second language. Yes,
right.
Because we're never going to do the rest of it.
Like, Bob's your uncle. I'm going to take the apples and pears. I did it.
You did do it.
You did the thing.
The Lemmy thing.
Keep going.
Cookies. Snooker? That's it. And am I getting notes of Axe body spray?
I think they call it something else here.
Oh, what was that mean?
We still...
Ain't nobody here gonna kiss their sister. What? Which is an American phrase that I'm now realizing does not exist here.
Never heard that.
It's 2020. Let's just call them cigarettes. What's a wanker?
Okay, we get it. Different countries have different slang.
That right there is another example of how our English and y'all's English sometimes do not jive.
It's not that funny. Oh, dang it. I've gone to make Coach sad. Can't stand something like that. Like a puppy dog locked out of the sausage factory. Sorry, Coach. Are you ready for some football? No? Good, because neither is this show. Because the soccer gets about as much airtime as the day jobs on Friends.
Here we go. And there you go.
I mean, come on. Players aren't even sweaty at halftime.
Yeah, pause. I mean, I found that it wasn't worth harping on, but I found that pretty egregious. Is after practice, in the middle of a game, after a game, whatever, like maybe a light forehead mist, but like if you watch soccer, they are sprinting for like, I don't know, 3 hours straight and just completely drenched in sweat. And they're like, oh, coach, come on, that was a poor showing. But whatever, you're not watching this for the sports.
Everything else, well, it's not just the sport. It's like everything else is just background. It's really just this one thing that it wants to be about, which is Ted Lasso's the best, and no one appreciates life like Ted Lasso, and everybody should be way more like this guy, and why aren't you more like this guy, and what a great guy. And it does feel like everything kind of takes a backseat to the point that it's almost like weird. Like they're setting up this thing in the beginning of the season where it's like Ted doesn't know anything about soccer and really isn't trying to learn. And there's even an interesting scene where a journalist from The Independent, he says his name like 800 times, it's a bit, and I'm forgetting it now. But the guy from The Independent who's interviewing him and is like, you're doing a crummy thing. Like you've come into this community that really cares about this and you don't really know anything about it. And you're kind of just fumbling your way through and you think it's cute, but it means something to them. And I was like, that's a great point. I can't wait for the show to deal with it. Does not ever deal with that at all.
Yeah, outsource that.
It's not part of the show at all. It's just this guy is a snot and Ted needs to win him over. Yeah. And of course he does by feeding him
Indian food. Yeah.
Eating hot food is what it takes to win that guy over.
It's telling that I didn't really know what a Premier League manager does at the beginning of the show, and I still don't. I still have no idea. I assume lifelong friendships with the birthday
parties. His management strategy is exactly the same as Michael Scott's, like, except The Office accepts that that's a joke, and Ted Lasso is like, what a great guy.
Yeah, he wants to be the boss that wants to be your best friend. It should be a nightmare.
Yeah. It is a nightmare, and we're happy to not have one.
I mean, you do constantly kind of expect Ted to walk into the locker room like, conference room, everybody, 5 minutes. Like he's right there.
Anyhow.
And Nick Mohammed is his, that's his Dwight.
His Dwight, yeah. All right, keep going.
Ted Lasso may start out as a dope who can't tell a striker from a scouser. By the end, he'll still be proudly ignorant about the sport he's paid to coach.
Explain to me how that's offsides. What? No, I'm serious. How's that offside? I don't understand it yet.
An oaf who coasts by on charm while everyone else does the work. Ted really is American. Oh, no offense, coach. Damn, I feel so bad making fun of this guy.
So bad.
It's like King of Mr. Rogers' pickup truck.
Yeah.
Surrounding Ted.
I mean, that was a genuine concern, was like, should we do this show at all? Because making fun of it is so sad. It'd be like ripping into Sesame Street. But I don't know. Abby's pretty annoying, and Elmo really gets on my nerves sometimes. But
There's a lot we could actually think of.
Yeah,
it's like they found out Snuffleupagus was real, but then nobody ever apologized for gaslighting Big Bird for like 25 years.
And also,
we're all talking to him like he was crazy.
Grover wound up just getting replaced by Elmo. That's not cool. We just find like the younger, hotter model and then get rid of the older dude.
Wait, did they kick Grover off of Sesame Street?
No, Grover's around.
Grover's still on there. But Grover used to be like the monster.
Yeah, he was.
And
not.
then
He
Elmo
was number one.
came around, and then Elmo wound up being like the guy.
And Bert and Ernie have really faded into the background too. I feel like they didn't want kids asking questions or something like that. So
they slept in the same bed when I was a kid. I'm not making that up.
No, they did.
They did the number of the day song actually kind of slaps now. They really even though the count is probably an anti-Transylvanian trope or something, but man, the number of the day song, pretty good. Check it out.
They couldn't make Sesame Street today. Everything's too woke, you guys.
It's too woke for Sesame Street.
Wouldn't work. It was too raw.
So yes, the thought was, oh, can we even make fun of the show? And I think that we tread that line, but you be the judge. It's tough to crap on stuff that's just so unceasingly positive.
Again, I feel like they kind of play dirty pool in Ted Lasso. They pre-inoculated themselves against criticism because the show in a lot of ways is about, if you're critical of Ted Lasso, it just means you need more kindness and love and acceptance in your life. Like, it's diagnosing negativity as like the problem. So of course, any negative reaction is like, what would Ted Lasso say? And it's just like, oh, screw you, show. I value and cherish my negativity. You can't have it. Bye.
All right. On that note, keep going.
Founding Ted is a major league full of side characters. Perhaps because the show has the same exact plot as the film Major League. Like Rebecca, the team owner you'll be ashamed you didn't recognize sooner.
That still blows my mind.
Higgins, the sub to her dom. Keeley, a character who's eerily similar to Jason Sudeikis' new girlfriend. That's
Who's also in the show.
Coach Beard, every King of the Hill character combined into one guy.
Yep.
The only two players who get any character development. A parade of barely recognized footballers who we can only assume had their lives changed by Ted off camera. And Nate, your favorite little introvert since Ted in Scrubs. Man, Bill Lawrence is so good at making lovably weak characters we can all laugh at.
Colin, Isaac, please stop.
He's such a wimp. Oh, didn't realize you heard that. My bad, Coach.
He's definitely got his set of go-to moves, and I really don't like Scrubs, but I chalk that up to not liking Zach Braff and liking Jason Sudeikis, because I feel like these shows are very similar in tone and writing quality and everything. I guess I just like Sudeikis more.
I think this one, I was not a huge Scrubs guy either, but I don't know. I think this one is just, it's one notch up. Like it's everybody who is doing it is like a little more experienced. It's just a little more like polished, and it's like a little bit sharper. It's just it feels less hokey. Like the subject matter is a little corny, but Scrubs is like so much of that like mug kind of like, like voices and mugging comedy. And I feel like, thankfully, this is less of that stuff.
Yeah. Scrubs is definitely like, it's good to put on in the background while you're cleaning house. It's a good cleaning house show for sure.
Yeah. So
of course I loved it. I love friendships. Yeah.
All right, keep going.
Cuddle up for the right show at the right time, because we all just crave some positivity in an otherwise terrible year. And nothing heals our fractured psyche like a Southern fried alpha male football coach, who's also a worldly musical-loving feminist who always knows the exact right thing to say. Yeah, that's a thing.
I'd hate to see you and Michelle Obama arm wrestle, but I wouldn't be able to take my eyes off it either.
Even though if you met a person who acted like Ted in real life, you would probably assume they're a serial killer, and you'd be 100% right. Oh, I'm sorry, Coach. I take it back. I believe in you. I just need someone to believe in me.
Sorry. I genuinely think there is like a pathology about, the American people that we would totally elect a football coach president if they were.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
That's just waiting to happen. Isn't there one that was that's now a senator in Florida?
Tuberville,
or something?
right? Tommy Tuberville.
Yeah, Tommy Tuberville.
Oh yeah.
That's like
Mr. Manning. Whatever the one that
Manning.
had those, Peyton.
Manning. I think it has
not
to be
Eli.
Peyton.
Maybe their dad.
I think it has to be
but
Peyton.
like definitely Peyton Manning. We would elect him immediately.
Oh,
him
Tom
and The
Brady.
Rock.
We would just make it permanent.
It's a little bit like The Rock. That The Rock will say voting is good, and millions of Americans will be like, I like the cut of this guy's jib. Make him president. We want any guy who seems big and strong and tough who's going to be like America's dad. We crave that. We absolutely
Founding fathers.
Want that.
Yeah, it's right there in the name. We want a daddy.
Yeah.
What is our what is our thing with daddies in America?
Oh, it's really unhealthy and gross and weird for sure.
What did our dads do to us? I have answers.
We could dive into that on a whole other episode. But instead, we'll keep playing the puns of our starring section.
The Snuggly American. The beautiful Shame. Coach Beard. That's it. That's his actual name. The Water Boy. Tosh Spice. Assistant to the regional owner. Harry Styles. David Belland. Lean Street Hooligans. Making a good point.
MVP! Yeah, it is.
See, there you go.
Good eye.
Just like Han Solo.
Love a good point.
Yeah.
Finest man. Jackpot.
Oh. Yes.
That's my favorite.
And
That's
when
my favorite
someone
joke in the
walks through
show.
room And you're totally not watching porn.
Biscuit with the boss time. Hey, how are you? Excuse me.
Pause.
Miss Watson.
Something interesting about this, they managed to use a ton of Apple products, of course, which I'm not used to. They do appear in other films, but they had this rule that only the heroes are allowed to use iPhones. You can never put an iPhone in a bad guy's hand or something like that. Those were their conditions. So I guess that she's going to turn good by the end because she's
she's got an iPad.
Oh, what a great way to track that.
Yeah. You can tell anyone with an iPhone is gonna be a friend by the end. So something to watch out for in future Apple things.
It's like My Little Pony. Everyone's friends at the end.
I hear now that we I guess we have a work account, but I'm gonna watch Mythic Quest. I'm gonna watch.
Mythic Quest is really good.
And I hear the space one is good.
I also really like Servant on Apple. The Shyamalan one.
I'll check that out. Okay, yeah. Well, keep going.
And Little America was
Hello.
good. That anthology.
Cornballers. Don't worry, England. Ted says success isn't about the wins and losses. It's about helping these young fellas be the best versions of themselves on and off the field.
Twist the knife.
We're the worst.
A heartbreaking victory for. You can make fun of us when Los Angeles loses the Super Bowl. I don't know what
care. We don't
yeah,
care about.
I don't know.
Stuff. Sorry, guys.
When they cancel a Marvel movie.
We get excited when the Lakers win. We don't really care. It doesn't seem like we really care when people lose.
LA is a pretty apathetic sports city. It's we just have too many choices here. Too many different types of bacon wrapped hot dog. It's not fair. Anyways, this was fun. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe and hit the bell because we do this every Tuesday. We have SJU sandwiching that on Monday and Wednesday, plus other fun things throughout the week.
Tomorrow will be the Loki wrap up.
Oh, yeah.
Final Loki.
It's the final Loki. So check that out.
Now this is demonetized.
Yep. It's as 5 as we can do.
That's
5 seconds.
We just got sued by Europe.
The continent and the band, weirdly.
Okay, roll the deleted scenes.
And more hugging. And if you're asking, isn't this supposed to be a comedy? Comedies aren't supposed to make you laugh anymore, ass. They're supposed to make you feel. And Ted Lasso is like a 30-minute therapy session.
And our goal is to go out like Willie Nelson, on a high. Yeah.
That's right. Ted won't wait until 4th and long to pun. Oh, dang, now I'm doing it too. Starring Better Off Ted, Foghorn Legwork, The Lasso of Truth, Yankee Doodle Dandy, Poshed Away, Ex-Life, From Shame to Fame, The Beard's Gambit, Ted's Beard,
Oh yeah, because he likes
Tiny
chess.
Timid, Brant, Captain Britain, Not So Keen, That Thing You Douche, Friday Night Live Viewing, Beard and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh, I like that one.
Adorable Bosses, Wanker Man, The Legend of Ted Lasso.
That's good.
Really
I didn't see that one.
Thank you to the Hollywood Foreign Press. I mean, this is for me, the coolest thing that a group of, that's nuts. Especially, that's crazy. Okay, all right. Wow.
Just any excuse to play this.
I read this book to my son Otis called The Three Questions by Leo Tolstoy. When's the right thing to do? What is the right thing to do? And then who is the most important one? Better than then. And Don's right. I got to wrap this puppy up. Never been my forte. Little windy, as my Aunt Loretta would say.
Okay, give Jason Sudeikis all the awards, but never in the same time zone that he's in.
Yeah, I just feel like, that's how I feel on SJU, which is sad because it's like 11 a.m. and I should be well rested and cogent. But yeah, that was just a great, all-time great acceptance speech.
Where did he get a hypercolor sweatshirt? I haven't seen one of those since junior high.
They're back. They're back, baby.
You guys are too young. A lot of you are probably too young to remember.
Actually, they're still big.
You put your hand on it. And
you would put your hand on it, it would change color when you.
They're still big in Europe, I imagine.
Really?
No, I don't know.
Can't imagine that they are.
Yeah. All right. So that was fun. Let's move on to what we got from the chat. What have you guys been saying? Evan J. Pretzer back with a question. What commercial could seriously make for a good TV show or film franchise? Anything that you see.
Like, it's been so long since I've seen a commercial.
I know,
right? Because I'm always skipping through stuff. I
don't watch like football games, which are the only places people see commercials now.
Right.
I think like the epic journey of the Can You Hear Me Now guy and how he got from one thing to the other, because now he's on Sprint.
Right. Yeah. That was
maybe that could make a good. It would be a little doer, but it'd be like a comeback success story from.
I'd watch like the Adam McKay behind the scenes of like how they got him to switch. Like the real like the Big Short, but for how they got the Verizon guy to like.
I want
the contract.
I want some sort of true crime documentary or docuseries about the death and rebirth of Mr. Peanut. I think that's what we really need to see. Like the whole behind the scenes saga of the decision to kill Mr. Peanut, the recognition of like, my God, what have we done? The baby nut years, just like give me the whole story front to back. That's what I want.
Yeah, that'd be good. Bring back PB Chris if anyone's listening and has the power to do that. But I just like that the Nutri-Grain bar. I feel great. We could do it like Crank. Have you ever seen that ad? I feel great. Yes. And it's just like a 90-minute. He has to go from bar to bar to just keep the streak alive. Oh, what was that movie with the Twin Peaks guy where like an alien makes you do crime? It'd be like that. I'll think of what it is later.
Wait, hang on. There's a movie with a guy from Twin Peaks where an alien.
Kyle MacLachlan.
Kyle MacLachlan.
Yeah, and it's like, well, spoiler alert, it's an alien, but it's like it basically makes people go on crime sprees and then hops from body to body.
Wow,
hunting it down.
I don't know this.
It's so good. Oh, I can't believe
Denzel in it? No.
No, that's Fallen.
He's got a flamethrower at the end. It's so cool.
Oh, send me that.
Yeah, it's from The Hidden. Check out The Hidden.
I have not seen. Yeah, The Hidden, 1987. I'm seeing it. I've never seen it.
One of the all-time great 80s action gems.
I think you did spoil it because the setup is just a cop and an FBI agent race for answers after law-abiding people suddenly become violent criminals.
Yeah,
I think it's in the execution. It's
all in the execution.
It's aliens.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's aliens, but
it's aliens.
Sorry about that, but you wouldn't know otherwise. So, all right. Fiona Gilbert, no relation, asks, was the Honest trailer timed because England made it to the final stages of Euro 2020, or is it pure coincidence? And this is because season 2 is released soon. It's the latter. Sadly, we don't. If we were precogs, we would not be doing any of what we're doing right now. But great timing for us, Good times.
Yeah, it worked out, but no, it was not.
Yeah. Arthur Mingo asks, can we get Lon to say bah humbug?
I don't believe it. Bah humbug.
Nice. Mark Sheridan asks, does this series make you want to visit the UK? I mean, no.
I already did.
I've been to the UK and it's charming. And
I've been to London twice. It reminds me of Los Angeles in a lot of ways. It's just like a complete sprawl with like little pockets of niceness and character, but otherwise it's just a big mega city. Seen one, you've seen them all. But I imagine there's more to the UK than London, and someday I will return.
I've been to a couple random spots. I also went to a town called Taunton and a little area called Minehead on the coast.
Minehead?
Minehead. M-I-N, like there was a mine there, and that's where things came to a head.
Yeah. Great. Ombre to California asks, does Lon like Paddington?
I do. I really like the Paddington films. I'm not anti anything being upbeat. you just gotta earn it. And if the message is, hey, you, the person watching this, you need to be more upbeat, you've got your work cut out for you. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's a steep hill to climb.
Yeah. Final question. Langley Neely writes, speaking of confusing category nominees, thoughts on the Emmy nominations? I was genuinely shocked by some of the noms in a good way. Now, I did a cursory browse this morning because I was like, do we get nominated for an Emmy? And it looks like they deleted our category, or am I just not?
Well, wait, aren't we the other Emmys? I always thought we were the side Emmys.
Yeah. Creative Arts
Randy
Emmys.
Rainbow.
Yeah, this is the Emmy Emmys. This is the main one, not the Creative
Randy
Arts.
Rainbow still got nominated for something, so I feel like we would have been in the category.
I mean, maybe they just moved stuff over, and I don't know. But I do know we're usually the Creative Arts Emmys, which is not this Emmys. This is the prime time.
Okay, well, it needs further inspection is needed. So yes, my only thought was I looked for myself and didn't find it. So those are my only thoughts on the Emmys so far.
Did you see? There's lead actress in a limited series this year is the most ridiculously stacked. It's Elizabeth Olsen for WandaVision. It's Kate Winslet for Mayor. It's Anya Taylor-Joy for Queen's Gambit. It's Michaela Cole for I May Destroy You, and then Cynthia Erivo for that Aretha Franklin one. She's like the bottom spot. It was great actually. I really like that. I just don't think as many people have seen it. But those other four are like the four most popular performances of the year.
Yeah,
all head to head. Who knows what's going to happen there?
Only one can actually be the best performance. We'll see. That's the Emmys.
Only by a lady. Dudes get their own.
Yeah, they do. They're doing lady acting, which is different.
It's different.
They're acting like girls. Also, a headline that's kind of fortuitous for us is Ted Lasso just set a record for the most nominations for a freshman comedy.
Did you see 7 Ted Lasso actors are nominated in various acting categories?
That's stupid.
Like
are
almost
there
the
7
entire.
of them?
Are there even
almost
7
the entire
characters
main ensemble is nominated? Like Ted's nominated, Nate's nominated, Rebecca's nominated, like the whole main cast.
Wow.
That's
all
great.
Right.
Good for them.
British people, don't we love watching them say different
stuff.
words? I just can't get enough. Put it in my veins. And tea. What's the deal with tea?
I'm sorry. That's not a thing. Americans drink tea, are familiar with tea.
It's true.
It's not like you go to England and like brown water.
Dishwater. What?
I've never met an American who is not intimately familiar with tea.
But you know what's weird is when you go to Europe, all of their coffee is like espresso based. It's always like you get an Americano, which is like espresso, then they dilute it with water. No one like brews a pot of coffee, which is, I feel like you're missing out over there.
90% of the coffee I had while I was in England was disgusting. Like I gave up. I gave up after about like 2 days because they're like, this is all terrible. They don't know what they're doing. They don't understand coffee. You just have to switch over while you're there.
Yeah. Anyways, that's enough insulting our ancestors to the east.
They do make sandwiches that's basically just like a bun with a little butter on it and then bacon in it, and that's the whole sandwich. And it's like, this is a beautiful thing.
Oh,
they do that with fries too, right?
Yeah, they do. A bacon buddy is what they call it, and it's incredible.
Okay. Yeah, we're missing out.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out today. Please come back. Please come back. Because we'll be doing it again next week. For
I legitimately don't know.
Yeah, you do. It's Black Widow. It's Black Widow. So solve that one. Take a guess in the comments what you think it might be about. And we'll see you next week. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.
You caught us red-handed.